So we need a door for this room. There wasn't a door on it. We arrived, the hinges are still on, or one of them is anyway, and they're built into the brick. We need a door to kind of fill this gap because this will eventually become the workshop, but for now it's going to be kind of storage. So we got a lot more stuff that we can't just keep in the second bedroom anymore, so we need to keep things in here. Having a door, a lot more helpful for security. So we're going to see if we can build a door from some of the stuff that left over that we have rather than buying a new one. So we're going to use these fixings and hinges along with these pallets and try and turn them into a door to fit this frame. So just finished measuring it all up and we're 118 centimeters wide and then 160 tall. How we're going to fit the door in, because there is kind of the original hinges would have been into this brick, and you can see the hinges have been kind of mortared in into the brick. So I think I'm going to have to like test drill one hole and see how it goes, and if not, then go into this concrete kind of surround that has been put in as some extra support. So I think that's going to be the first port of call, is to whack in the hinges, give them a little test drill into one of these, and if it does work, great. If it doesn't work, we'll just drill some more holes. The center line of the screws on the hinge are going to want to be at 80 because that hinge is going to go smack bang in the center, because the way the design of the door is going to work, it's going to be 3 panels there, one at the top, one at the bottom, that the hinges will kind of screw into, so they've got much thicker density to go into, so then that needs to be preferably right bang in the middle of it. This doesn't need to be immensely accurate. If we can get it fairly close, it'll be pretty spot on. So I'm just measuring down the drop from where the hinge sits, from where the center down to where that will sit into the wall, where the kind of holding bolt will sit into the wall, and then I'm going to drill it about there. Just make sure, I'm going to try drilling a hole into this, because even if the door sits kind of behind from this edge, it's actually fine. It doesn't really matter, it just needs to come in and close this gap off. So I'm going to try drilling one into this, same height, and just see what that's like. Yeah, I think that is what we're going to be going with. That's way stronger. So this is just the end of a clay brick, and it's been kind of cemented over to some degree, but it's quite thin. So it's kind of just resting on almost a pretty thin layer of just mortar. So now we know that works, and that's going to be a better option. We're going to go into this concrete, which means we'll drill the 3 holes later on, and we'll drill a hole for the bolt to close into. So we're going to build the door, and then we'll come back and we will do these later. First thing we really need to do is try and get some of this pallet apart. This one is older, it's pretty hefty wood, which would be very useful, except it's pretty heavily nailed together. I haven't got a crowbar, so I'm going to try and get it apart. It might end up that if we can't actually pull this apart, we'll just cut it either side. So we'll have a lot of smaller pieces which might be usable for something. They might not be that useful for the door. We have got the other pallet that's downstairs that might be a bit more useful, but we'll give this a go first. So slight change of plan with this pallet at least. There's too many nails, there's just way too many. It's just splitting the wood or just pulling massive holes in it, which makes it not very usable, and it's not worth the extra time it takes to pull that apart like that. So we're just going to cut it straight up between the pallets. So we get these boards out. These might be useful for the door potentially, or they'll go as firewood or maybe a different project, but at least they're still usable. This stuff is kind of easier then to just hammer off and get the nails out, and we can just get rid of it. We're going to cut through the rest of this, and I think probably most of the door is going to come from that other pallet. So this room will actually become a workshop. This is beneath the kitchen and the sink room. This will actually eventually become a workshop. But as you can see now, it's kind of not really in a state for being that usable. It's a big space, and it's got a fair bit of room, and we're storing some stuff in here. Like today we're working on the door so we can actually use it properly. But one thing you will notice, I'm just below 6 foot, and then my head is kind of skimming the top. I can kind of stand up, but my hair catches and brushes on the bricks, so it's not high enough. So to make this more usable, we will eventually kind of drop it down, but that's going to be a future project because there's a bunch of things it needs doing outside to divert some of the rainwater away from the entrance before we start doing the inside, so that we don't just end up with water kind of piling in like it kind of does now. For all the comments about us building a workbench for the saw, for the miter saw, this is where it will eventually be. But we're not going to build one until we've got this in a position where we can actually use it in here to an actual decent standard without having to kind of be hunched over the whole time. But yes, rest assured we are going to build a bench, and we won't be working on the floor out on the terrace the whole time. This is also where most of the tools are going to be kept. So we've got to figure out some kind of clever storage solutions to make use of as much of the space as we can, especially on the walls, so we can really get a nice open floor for working on, and we can get some good bench space so that we're not kind of wasting any space in here. So giving things a little bit of a brush so it's a bit more usable. So we've got the pallet down on the floor. I'm going to try and take this one apart. So this one's got much longer strips on it. So it's got much longer that we can actually use for the door that would probably do the uprights and also the cross section. So it looks like we're probably going to use all of this one to actually fix this door. Hopefully we'll be able to get this apart a little bit easier. I don't have a crowbar, stupid really, because we should have bought one. We're at the shop and we should have just got one. We're going to try and use the hammer and just kind of loosen them off, and then because there's only two nails in each kind of section or each corner, so it should be able to come off a little bit easier. So I got done with pulling the pallet apart. These are all the sections that still have nails in, so next job is to pull all those out.
This section here, they've all got the nails removed. These blocks will get used for the kind of lock section. So we've got something pretty hefty to screw in for the lock. And then all of these will become the kind of main planks for the door. Now a nice pile of de-nailed wood. So all of this is that one pallet that has now got no nails left in it, so we can now use this to make the door. We're going to work out which bits we're going to use and then we'll chop them all down to size and get them fitted. Chief has been digging up the outside section.
This is the hybrid inside-outside bit.
As we were saying earlier when we was talking about this room, this section out here needs some work before we actually dig down this floor and turn it into the full workshop we're going to have. This is the kind of first stage, I guess, of just clearing this so it's not just dirt and earth piled up that's keeping it super wet and letting it all run in. There's no nails in here. How much is how long are they total? Centimeters wide out of these pieces of wood. There we go. Choppy and done.
Done!
Alright, that's great. These will still be screwed in. Yeah, it'll still go. And I'm not sure where it'll end up actually. It might. Door in history. Oh, so we've got a door.
We got a door.
Looks great.
It does, it looks really cool. Fastest job in history. I mean, minus the pulling nails out of the...
So here's what we've got. We've added extra strips across so it creates like a sandwich with the uprights so that it kind of holds it all together, and we can put slightly longer screws in to hold them all together. What'll happen here, we're just going to screw each of these in 3 positions, so top, middle, bottom, 1 screw in each length. Then we'll come back and we will fit the hinges that'll go onto each of these. Hopefully it's then going to be a working door.
Fingers crossed.
Do you know the best bit about this is?
What?
Free wood. It's because we had stuff delivered. So we basically got free wood.
Yeah.
Amazing. I'm going for 50mm screws. Hopefully they're not going to push out too much on the front. Should just kind of give us a good sandwich together. And they're long enough that it's going to give some good purchase to actually hold this thing in place.
Slowly getting pushed in. Because once we fit it, it's not going to drag on the bottom here. Put your edge in and rest it on the step.
Fits.
Right,
So far.
watch your fingers. The long bits are a bit too long. So the height fits perfectly. The width, we left a little bit of overhang where we didn't trim the cross sections quite short enough. We can trim them off with a handsaw and then it should fit perfectly.
It looks cool.
It does look pretty cool for a pallet door. Well done, boss.
Well done.
Good job. Put the bottom side in first. Got the holes marked to drill. The other two is to drill the top and bottom hole for the hinges. So we're going to drill those, then chem fix the anchors in place. We'll then come back tomorrow and put the door on. So we've got the anchors chem fixed in. They are going to need to dry until at least tomorrow at some point. What we'll do then is offer up the door, rest it on that ledge, and then kind of screw the hinge sections in, the 4 screws the whole way along, and we'll hopefully have a door that works.
And then we can put things in there. Then that means our second bedroom can maybe turn back into a bedroom.
Rather than a storage unit.
And then maybe people can come stay.
if it works.
Well done, sausage.
Hello.
10 mils the biggest drill bit we got, so this might be a bit of work to make the hole for the lock to slide into, because it's about 14 mil round, so I have to do some work to try and open it up enough, but should be fine. Ish. Position's good. Just need a bit more opening up. It works! Yeah! Yeah! Good job.
Come into my workshop.
We have a functioning door.
We don't have a functioning workshop yet,
No,
but we
one
have
step at a time.
a door.
I'm so pleased with this. We didn't buy any of this wood either.
Yeah.
We bought
Oh, what
the
was three
hinges
hinges,
and this
I think.
and made a door from scratch. Good job.
Well done. Because I heard it's your speciality now.
Thanks so much for watching The House With No Name. We now have a door on our workshop that we built completely from scratch out of an old pallet. Next time I make an extra long paintbrush, Amy does some shoveling, and we pour some more stones around the bathroom. See you then.